Previously on MDA.
You're moving on, aren't you?
I just think that with the way the hospital system is going, I could maybe put some new reforms in place.
I'm also willing to do what Ella does and work in emergency for a couple of shifts a week.
Now, don't expect too much, okay? But I made it through the front door and I'm all right.
Good. In that case, I need you. Can you stay with the patient in 3?
Okay, what's he got? Something like minor, low grade?
It's a woman with postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Shit.
I'll set it up in my office. Do you remember the moves?
Perfectly.
You know what my dad told me when I was a kid, Layla, when I asked him about death? He said that we just stop. We finish. We don't go anywhere. We don't meet anyone. We're not saved.
Better out than in, eh?
She can't stop.
Settle down. Settle down. She's gonna be fine. Tell me, how much has she taken? Please, are you listening to me? How much has she taken?
Just one Eckie.
One egg in my ass.
Okay, Emma, you are gonna drink some of this for me, okay? Here you go, Emma. You need to drink it, okay? It's gonna help soak up the toxins in your stomach. Thank you. I think you better get me 2.5 milligrams diazepam.
Yep.
You winning? No, another mouthful. Keep going, keep going. You take it out of the cup. Good girl, or I'm going to put it down your nose through a tube.
Just let Dr. Lawless do his job. Nurse.
Thank you. That's it. Emma, as much as you can,
Come
please.
on, drink it all up. Well, there's one outfit you can trash.
But it must always be tough in emergency, isn't it?
I don't think it's me, you know? People expect so much of you, and then you start worrying about fucking up. I don't know.
Okay, so why are you beating yourself up about it?
I'm not sure how Ella will take it.
You know exactly how Ella will take it. She'll smile and say, if you want to quit, it's up to you.
You have to do what's best for you. Yeah, I can hear her saying it.
Well, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is that even though that's what she'd say, it's not what she would do. She would do what she thought was best for as many people as possible. That's why it's difficult playing the me card.
Well, Simon gave up the hospital when he came to MDA.
It's different. He'll go back, and he's earned a break.
And you haven't.
You're a great help. I'm serious, though. I am going to tell her. I'm going to go in early and do it tonight. I will.
Dr. De Silva continued with forceps birth even though Sharon was screaming at him to stop, and she adds that she was instructed to hold Sharon still. Now, I don't know about you. What is this? Are we living in the 21st century or the Dark Ages?
Your client was uncooperative. Dr. De Silva was forced to restrain her.
No one should be forced to restrain anyone in childbirth.
I couldn't agree more.
You know, and as a result of Dr. De Silva's anomalous technique, Sharon Williams suffered severe tearing resulting in reconstructive surgery to her anal sphincter.
With any occipito-posterior presentation, Richard, the labour may take longer and there is an increased likelihood of maternal injury, of forceps-assisted delivery and of episiotomy. That goes with the territory.
It's not just the episiotomy that's the problem here. It's all the additional tearing that occurred. I'm sorry, Dr. De Silva simply was not prepared for, quite apart from his mismanagement of the childbirth itself. Your client's general manner with the patient, his failure to pay any attention to her distress, has left her scarred psychologically and physically.
Your client was screaming abuse at Dr. De Silva. She refused to pay any attention to his advice. She attempted to climb off the delivery table and leave the delivery room. She made it impossible for him to do his job.
All he had to do was give her a Caesar.
That was a procedure which the doctor considered inappropriate.
Caesarean section is not inappropriate in an occipito-posterior
Yeah, it's not
presentation,
mandatory
sir.
either, Richard.
Why don't I bring my client in? You can hear for yourself. Mrs. Williams was screaming in pain. Your client completely ignored her.
There are the cost estimates for the Bardini case.
Thank you.
And I am leaving at 5 o'clock today. I've got a shifted emergency and I wanted to go on a bit early.
Oh, I see. So Ella does a runner and now she wants to start filching my staff whenever she feels.
No, it's got nothing to do with Ella. It's my regular shift. Anyway, I started at 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, well, don't start bamboozling me with facts, Jamison. I was hoping that you'd be able to get through these files by the end of the day.
Okay, yep, I'll get them done.
If you want an excuse not to go, I can always write you a note.
What makes you think I don't want to go?
Oh, I just assumed that you never wanted to go.
Well, actually, yes, I was thinking about throwing it in. And I intend talking to Ella about it tonight, okay?
Yes?
Yeah, whatever you think's a fair thing.
I used to do aerobics twice a week. Now I can't lift the groceries. I can't carry Jordan.
I understand the advice you have been given is that with ongoing physiotherapy and some care, you should make a near to complete recovery.
But what about now? It never happened before like this with Ashley. Dr. Bloomfield put in a block and I was fine.
According to Dr. De Silva's notes, your first child, who was admittedly not delivered by Dr. De Silva, was anterior presentation. The circumstances were different. And according to Dr. De Silva, you did not request an epidural block until the labour
did! He's a liar! I did!
Until the labour was well advanced, and Dr. De Silva felt it would be difficult for the anaesthetist to administer the block because of your agitated state.
He didn't want to give me one. He wouldn't get the anaesthetist in. He kept saying, no, I can't. I wanted the block and I wanted the cesarean.
Sharon.
Well, it's my baby. It's my birth. It's my vagina.
Mrs. Williams, I'm going to suggest we break now and reconvene perhaps later today. Mr. Savage, before we leave, did you have a figure in mind that you wanted to put to MDA?
Yes, 60,000.
So all the same, Savage's argument is full of holes.
And why do I feel like we're losing this?
Look, we use the break. I'm going to call De Silva. We get him in here for another chat.
How often do women try to jump off the delivery table?
It happens.
Yeah, but can we use it? Can we use the argument that she was in an irrational frame of mind?
If you ever decide to give birth, Amanda, I really want to be there.
I don't think I'll be issuing invitations.
How'd you go?
It's not resolved. We're going back later on this afternoon.
Richard was in fine form, though.
Well, you'll just have to explain that to him, won't you? One born every minute, as they say. Okay, bye. It's not April Fool's Day by any chance, is it?
Have we missed something?
Do you want to hazard a guess why a GP would send a pair of lacy knickers through to a pathology lab? I kid you not, that was the path lab on the phone. Apparently some rather annoyed lab workers have made a complaint. Layla?
Yep.
Could you look up one Dr. Rodney Mellon, see if he's one of ours? If he is, give him a call. Tell him he's a bloody idiot.
Lacy knickers?
Yeah, black. Apparently they arrived in a sample bag with a request for them to be tested for, guess what?
Semen stains?
Semen stains.
Paranoid husband, is it?
Well, paranoid or not, a path lab is not a forensic service. So how did you go, Simon?
Still going. Simon Lloyd, MDA. Can I please speak with Dr. Chris De Silva?
If you've never seen a sunset on the limestone cliffs on the south coast,
Dad?
you ought to do yourself. Try to look pleased to see me.
I am pleased to see you. I was expecting to pick you up at the airport tonight.
Well, I spoke to the girl who was doing the bookings. Wangled an earlier flight.
Why? I'm working all day.
I'm capable of amusing myself in your absence, Sonny Jim.
You could have called.
Well, I wasn't in a hurry. You had lunch?
No, I don't
Just
think
tell me if you can't do it. I'll eat on my own.
Okay. Yeah, right. Mediation's been put off to 4:30, which means it can finish late. Gita, can you transfer my phone calls to mobile, please?
Thanks, Gita. That hit the spot.
So you're looking all right for an old fella?
What's with the buzz cut?
Dad.
Why didn't you let your hair grow a bit?
Are you going to give me fashion advice?
It's not
All
my
through
fault
lunch?
you're thinning
You
on
are.
top. Blame your mother. Spit flash. Candle magic do me.
It's not flash, Dad.
So, given we were paired up for euchre, we ended up getting paired up for the tennis.
How'd you do?
What?
The tournament, what is it? The Southern Bay over 55?
We got runners up in the mixed doubles.
Thanks. So the bouillabaisse is pretty good, if you're in the mood.
I make fish soup a couple of times a week. Anyway, that's what started it off. And the upshot is, we get married.
The upshot of what?
We get married, me and Lynn. And that's the news.
Seems sudden.
I've been seeing her for months.
Lynn.
Wilson. Have you been listening?
Yeah, right. Mixed doubles. I just didn't pick up on the implication. That's
Because you weren't listening, coffee is...
Would you like to order?
Can we have 5 minutes?
Oh, look, could I have a beer while he's deciding things? Tasmanian, if you got it. I'm sorry we're being a bit slow.
When?
Next month. No point waiting.
You sure about this?
She's the one. Now, Hoagie, you're not going to go all silent. You'd have met her if you'd have flown down at Christmas. I'm not trying to keep her a secret.
No, Dad, you really don't need my approval.
I'm not looking for it. I'm just trying to include you. Guess it feels awkward. Lynn's got 3 children. The youngest leaves school this year. We thought you kids might act in weird ways.
Dad, really, it's fine.
She's not like your mother.
Is that meant to comfort me, is it?
Jeez. We have a conversation without you getting supercilious.
Well, can we have a conversation without you getting defensive?
Where's my beer got to?
The baby became distressed, which was unfortunate. I absolutely concede that. But it could have been avoided if Sharon only helped us to help her.
She maintains you refused her an epidural.
How the hell do you administer an epidural to a woman who's throwing herself around a delivery room?
And the anaesthetist explained the procedure to her, the necessity for her to remain perfectly still.
Well, it wouldn't have done any good.
But the patient had discussed pain management with you at antenatal visits and expressed a preference for epidural anesthetic.
I'm not denying that.
So what you're saying is her expressing a desire for epidural and you being able to realise it were 2 different things.
Look, there's something I haven't told you because I don't think it's relevant. But there was no anaesthetist there to give her an epidural block that night.
Dr. De Silva, why on earth did you keep that back?
Because it's not relevant. It's inflammatory, I can see that just from the way you've reacted, but it's not relevant to this particular case.
Without an anaesthetist, you couldn't have conducted a Caesar in the first place.
Sharon was at 10 centimeters dilation. The baby's head was well down, face to pubis below the spines. I was confident that I could rotate the baby using Keelan's forceps. To me, it seemed the best, the most expedient way to facilitate this birth. Look, the absence or presence of an anaesthetist had nothing to do with my decision.
So you didn't tell her that there was no anaesthetist available?
Well, it hardly seemed politic.
Why was there no anaesthetist?
One was in the theatre, the other was contactable by pager, which was for some reason not working, I believe. Look, it's a small private hospital. We've usually found 2 anaesthetists as adequate for our needs.
All right, that aside for the moment, I'd like to hear more about Dr. Bloomfield's opinion.
On or off the record?
Off, of course.
He made it very clear to me he had no intention of taking her on for a second confinement.
Did he say why?
Oh, I remember his exact words to me, but they're hardly admissible.
But you can tell us.
He said, "You'll regret taking this one on, Chris. She's a Class A bitch."
So how come I thought you were still going out with Meg?
We called it quits 18 months ago. She had a house full of China squirrels, for fuck's sake. That was always doomed. Lynn's sociable.
What was her attraction to you then?
I'm sociable. I was always more sociable than your mother. She was more concerned about her tennis. She played a mean game.
I thought you played mean, she played fair.
You're elevating a memory. She was bloody competitive. That's where you get it from.
Yeah, right. Do you want to drive? You might as well get used to it. You can drop me at mediation.
Well, what do you get to the gallon in this?
Dad, it doesn't take gallons, it takes litres, but I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
So, do you want me to pick you up later or what?
No, I'll catch a cab home, but I might be late.
You're a bloody workaholic. Ever give yourself a break, go to the pub, catch the footy?
I provide a service to the community, yes, just like you did.
I drove trams, mate. Nothing like what you do. That's it.
Dr. Rodney Mellons, he's been a member for 17 years. That's his phone number.
Ah, lucky me. Has he ever sent undergarments to pathology before?
Nothing in his file.
Ready to go?
Yeah, Dr. De Silva hasn't exactly filled me with confidence.
You don't think we have a case?
Yeah?
Yes, it's Bill Henderson from MDA. Can I speak to Dr. Rodney Mellons, please?
Layla, we probably won't be back in the office today. I think it'll be a late one.
Okay.
See ya.
Layla, can you do a company search for me? Can you find out who owns Clearwater Private Hospital in Torville? I need company name and board members.
Sure.
Thanks.
Dr. Mellons, Bill Henderson from MDA. I had a rather interesting phone call from DLB Pathology this morning. I see, so you've been expecting the call. Well, I'm glad to be able to fulfil your expectations.
So what about Faye?
Oh, I wouldn't have her back. Faye was high maintenance.
High maintenance?
True. I got more laughs out of Meg and the Squirrels than I got out of Faye. She asked after you. Well, I told her that you're rich and powerful and you turn your back on your roots.
Geez, thanks, Dad. I can always rely on you, can't I? You should have stuck with Faye. She had your measure.
Not a patch on Lynn. My days of serial monogamy are over.
Where are you getting all these new age terms from? Is this Lynn's influence?
What's wrong with them?
Nothing. No, they're fine. They're fine. Anyway, this is where I should leave you. Are you going to be okay to get back to the apartment?
Jesus, Hoagie, I've lived in the city longer than you've been alive.
Well, it's changed a lot since you
Don't
left.
teach me to suck eggs.
All right. Now, do you
It'd
know
be quicker
the
to go by the sales yards and to cut around the racecourse.
Right, well, the sales yards were built on 10 years ago.
I know where they were. Relax. On your case. I'll get dinner on.
All right. I'm going to be late.
I'll try not to fret.
Failure to provide adequate pain relief will certainly be a problem now.
Okay, well, should we concede it? If we argue the business about the anaesthetist is about to come out.
I think we're just going to have to hope that Richard doesn't know about it already.
However genuine De Silva might have been, it's going to look bad. What did Bill say?
25, top whack.
Afternoon.
Richard, hope your client's a bit calmer.
When a person is treated unjustly, they experience strong emotions, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's hard to control.
You made no effort to control her, you loved it.
I never rely on emotion, Amanda.
You can be such a smug bastard sometimes.
Jamie.
Ella, I was just on my way to your office.
Really? I'm not there much. You're early.
I was hoping I'd have a talk with you.
Well, can I wait till after the shift? We're a man down.
Yeah, where do you want me?
Great, Jamie. We've got acute gastro in 1, 3 and 7 and we're expecting more family reunion.
Oh, good. Shit late on.
I've got that.
You can take the elderly woman in 9. She's got possible dementia, pneumonia. Her sister's on the way in. I've already checked for geriatric assessment.
It's all here. It's in the midwife's report. She talks about my client literally trying to climb off the bed to get away from Dr. De Silva, and then furthermore, Dr. De Silva pushed Mr. Williams in the chest and told him to get out of the way.
Yes, well, Mr. Williams is lucky that Dr. De Silva didn't call hospital security.
Well, he was hurting her.
Well, how do you know that? Your wife was in labour, she was in extreme pain. Dr. De Silva was doing his best to achieve a successful vaginal delivery under very difficult circumstances.
He let it go too long. He said that the baby would turn, but she didn't.
Occipital-posterior presentations often turn spontaneously during transition, more often actually in second babies than in first. Now, Dr. De Silva was allowing the maximum amount of time for this to occur.
That has no bearing on my client's unassisted distress, the injury she sustained, and Dr. De Silva's threatening behaviour.
I would suggest that her distress had a great deal of influence over her ability to remember or comment on the events with any accuracy.
Oh, that's a lovely line of argument, Amanda. A woman in labour is somehow less able to accurately comment on the situation. The feminists must love you.
Oh, well, Richard, you're suddenly their greatest defender?
Can we stick to the point?
I'll tell you the reason why Mrs. Williams suffered the trauma that she did, because of the total mismanagement of the situation by Dr. De Silva.
I would like to ask Mrs. Williams why you didn't go to Dr. Ralph Bloomfield for the birth of your second child as you did for your first.
That's not relevant.
I didn't like him. I thought he was up himself.
Would you say he did a better job than Dr. De Silva?
Obviously.
But I decided after Ashley was born that I wasn't going back to him.
Is it possible he refused to take you on for your second
I didn't
confinement?
want him.
Did he find you difficult to manage?
I didn't want him. That's all. And instead, I get Dr. De Silva, and he was a dud.
So if we were to subpoena a statement from Dr.
give me a
Bloomfield,
break,
which we
Simon. This
obviously
is
would
not
do
relevant
if we
to-
proceed
this
to
is not
court,
relevant to anything.
then it would say that your relations with him were friendly and cordial. Otherwise, it might go against you.
You said we wouldn't have to go to court.
It is the next logical step, unless, of course, we can reach a settlement.
Well, why has it got so difficult? You said we could do this. But you were touted to me like you were the messiah of medical negligence lawyers. Well, I can get a second opinion.
Come on, Sharon, we're not going through this again.
It's entirely your prerogative, Mrs. Williams, but if you are concerned about what was said in there, don't be. They will not be able to get a statement from Dr. Bloomfield, and even if they do, it will be inadmissible. Now, you can bail out now, you can seek other legal advice, or you can let me complete this mediation.
When we get back from X-ray, we'll do your plaster, so let Jackie know what colours you want.
We've got a road trauma coming in. 1 fatality, 2 critical. Are you available?
I can be. I've got a plaster cast in about 40 minutes.
I can get someone else to do that. You better hurry.
Blood pressure?
170 over 90.
I need a full blood count and cross match. You're going to be fine. And his mate went through the windscreen, died at the scene.
Hendry deteriorating consciousness.
Hobbs?
BP's sagging. He's had 2 litres of fluid on the way. Suspect broken left leg and a broken pelvis.
Right, name?
Tranter. Joshua Tranter.
Joshua? Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah.
Got yourself in a bit of a mess here, mate. Do you know where you are?
7-Eleven. Toby was just...
I'm Dr. Lawless. Jamie, you're with me now, okay?
I'm cold.
Stay with me, mate. Stay with me. Okay, BP, ECG, saturation monitor.
airway life.
Airway clear, breathing shallow.
Okay, everything's going to be fine, Mr. Savage. Eric, it says here your next of kin is Richard Savage.
My son.
Has someone contacted this man's phone?
I think so.
Can you get onto that? Richard Savage, Solicitor Cato and Pittman. We're contacting Richard now, okay? He'll be here soon, Eric. Pulse?
70.
Okay, can you tell me your phone number, Eric?
Bloody hell.
Right pupil slightly dilated. The left side of the head. It's okay, take it easy. Suspected hematoma. Can you contact neurosurgery for me and request a CT scan? Tell them it's urgent.
Dr. De Silva had successfully delivered 3 occipito-posterior presentations in this manner in the last 12 months. However, this time there was an unexpected complication, and that was the patient herself. Instead of allowing him to get on with a procedure he's been conducting successfully for 30 years, she decided to take matters into her own hands. Instead of assisting him in any way whatsoever...
Excuse me. Yes, Kel?
Sorry, I've got a message for Mr. Savage.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have to leave.
Hang on a minute. I was told to set aside 3
I
hours.
apologise, Jeffrey. It's an emergency to do with my father. Now, I'm sorry I have to leave like this, but someone from the office will be in touch.
We better see how we're all placed for tomorrow.
How do we know if this emergency will be solved by then?
Pencil it in for 9 a.m, I suggest, and if there's any change, I'll let you know.
Excuse me, I need to speak to someone urgently, Dr. Luella Davis.
I'll be with you in a moment, sir, if you'll just wait your turn.
I just need some information.
And I need you to wait your turn. We'll just get you to take a seat, and as soon as someone can, they'll be with you, okay?
Thank you. Richard Savage, my father, Eric Savage, was brought in after a car accident. I want to know what is happening with him.
Savage. Oh, yes, Mr. Savage was admitted half an hour ago. He's in radiology at the moment, I think. So if you'll take a seat, I'll get someone down to talk to you.
They said it was serious.
I really can't tell you any more than that.
I want to see him.
And I understand that, sir. And as soon as we can, we'll get someone to take you through.
So you won't give me any information at all, is that right?
Sir, I really don't have to give you any information.
BP 80 on 40.
Mum!
It's okay, mate. It's okay. Has anyone contacted his family?
Am I going to die?
No, mate. You're not going to die.
Where's Toby? Yeah.
He's lost consciousness.
BP 75 on 40.
Blood group.
Cross match isn't through yet.
Respiration's failing. I'm going to tube him now. Okay, Josh. You get this tube in, everything will be fine. You'll be able to relax. Just don't pike on me now.
BP still falling.
Okay, I want 3 units packed red blood cells. Let's get him prepped. I want an ultrasound.
Come on, mate.
You'll have to take that outside, sir.
Where's Dr. Davis? Does she know that I'm here?
I have no idea where she is, sorry. Sir?
Looks good, feels good. Blood type O negative, batch number 7344419884424.
7344419884424.
Collection date 10th this month.
10th.
Expiry date 30th
Dr.
this month.
Lawless, I've got Joshua's parents here.
It's not a good time. I'll see them outside.
You can't give him any blood!
Richard,
Is he all right?
he's stable, right? He has a head injury. There's concussion, but a scan's going to tell us more.
What happened?
Head-on collision. From what I can gather, the other car was on the wrong side of the road.
Okay.
He's conscious, but he is very, very confused.
Can I see him?
You can see him after the CT scan. Right now, I need you to come with me back to reception.
No. What is wrong with this place, Luella? I want to see him.
You can see him after radiology. I will take you there myself.
Okay. Is he going to be all right?
Ella! Sorry, you're going to have to come to cubicle 6. There's been a disturbance.
What's going on?
I think you better come.
Go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Look,
No.
I'll be there in a minute, all right?
Look, you tell me you are, but I have no proof that Joshua is one.
He's carrying a card. It's legal, signed and witnessed, stating his religion and stating his refusal to receive blood.
The only thing he had on him was an ID card.
Well, that's it then.
No, it just has his name, his age, his address. That's it. The police went through his things at the scene of the accident. If they'd found anything else, they would have let us know.
I organised that card for him. He's had it all his life. Where is it?
What can I tell you, Mr. Tranter? I don't know.
Mr. Strander, I'm Dr. Ella Davis, Director of Emergency. Would you like to come this way and we can discuss this?
No, we're not moving from here. Our son is in there, and he's not going to get a blood transfusion.
He's critical, Ella. Blood pressure's 70 on 40 and dropping.
Do we know where the bleeding's coming from?
Well, Bernie's on his way down to do an ultrasound.
Joshua! Mr. and Mrs. I need you to come with me. We need to discuss this, all right? Please. Please.
Don't do that, Mr. Tranter, please.
Mr. Tranter, it's a saline drip, all right? Sodium chloride and water.
That is my son.
And at the moment, he is only receiving saline. Can you see? Look, the blood isn't even connected. Are you clear about that? Can you read the label on the bag? Don't touch the IV line, please. Look, we need to discuss this, all right?
I want to stay with him.
I need you both to come with me. All right? You have my absolute word. Nothing will be done to your son until we have a final discussion.
So what about the hospital solicitor?
Not available.
And how old is this boy?
18.
And is he refusing?
He's moribund. His parents are refusing for him.
They've got no right to stop the hospital providing treatment to save the life of their son. Tell them if they don't cease obstructing, you can get a court order for the police to remove them from the hospital.
Can we do that anyway? I'd feel better about this.
I'll ring the Judges Associate and get back to you.
I'm on the page, Ahab. There's not a lot of time. This boy's only got about an hour.
Now, look, it should only take a few minutes and we can do it by phone if we have to. I'll get over there as soon as I set it up.
Right. Okay. Bye.
Find the card, read it.
I've asked for all his belongings to be brought here, but the fact is I can override this card if it exists, and I have to make myself clear here. That is what I intend to do, because we want to save your son's life.
That's what we want too. We want to save his eternal life. Please try. I don't expect you to understand, but appreciate, Dr. Davis, that we have beliefs that are important to us. Important is not the right word. They're the foundation. They completely underpin the way we live.
Yes, but if your son dies today, Mrs. Tranter, if Joshua were conscious, I would ask him, but he isn't, so I can't. Now, I only have your word to go on, and that isn't enough.
But we're his parents. We're his legal guardians.
Yes, but he's old enough to make up his own mind.
No, he's not.
Please, I want to be with him. It's my fault. I shouldn't have let him go off with Toby. Toby was too old. He had that stupid car. He wanted to show off. I knew Toby wasn't responsible behind the wheel. I should have shown more strength.
Mrs. Tranter, Joshua was driving the car at the time of the accident, not his friend.
He can't have been.
Well, he was.
He can't drive.
There's a mistake. Joshua doesn't even have his learner's permit yet. He's only 16.
Yeah, no, it was a fake ID. We had the birth date wrong.
So, how does this affect us?
Well, it helps us because he's a minor. We're protected by existing legislation, so just don't waste any more time, okay? Do it.
Ella.
Okay.
Bill Henderson's here. I've sent him up to your office.
Really?
Ella, I called Happy. I wasn't trying to go over your head or anything like that. I just...
It's okay, it's okay. It's a good idea. I'll catch up.
What did the ultrasound show?
It's his spleen.
I'll order more blood then.
Okay.
Richard.
Can I see him?
Yep. The CT scan revealed a extradural hemorrhage resulting in pressure on the brain, okay? I've got a neurosurgeon prepping. They're going to drill a burr hole into his skull to
Okay,
relieve the
yep,
pressure.
I know what a burr hole is. Who's doing it?
Steve Sharman.
Is he competent?
Yeah, of
What's
course
his
he is.
record like?
It's good, Richard.
Good,
It's very
great.
good.
Well, I want details and I want a second opinion about it.
Fine. You can wait for Steve Sharman's CV and a second opinion, but I've got to tell you, it's a time-wasting exercise that your father can't afford. Third door on the right.
I need to speak to you. We need to discuss this, please.
He had a fake ID. You didn't know that, so what else didn't you know? Do you know what fake IDs are used for? They're for kids to get into pubs and clubs. Is that what your son was doing? Were you aware your son did that sort of thing? Is it possible that he lived a life different to the
Please,
one
you
you
don't
set out for him?
understand.
No, I don't think you understand.
Jamie, just leave it.
That kid is his
back to
own
reception,
person.
please.
You know, you can't know what he's thinking. You can't get inside his head.
Neither can you.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep him alive.
I want that too. You can't say that I don't. I want him to live too.
You're being brainwashed by stupid laws.
Jamie! Could you just go, please? Mr. and Mrs. Tranter, I apologise for what happened, but this is a very difficult situation and I need you to go back to reception. And I will come through and speak with you as soon as I can.
Please, try to understand what this is like. This is the worst thing, the cruelest test. If I could push it away, I would. Please.
If I go through with this, will they come after me for breaching their religious beliefs? And if their son dies, will they come after me for not doing anything? Jesus, I've been at MDA too long.
How's his obs?
65 on 40. He's holding steady for the moment.
Okay, let's get him to theatre.
Good luck, Josh.
I am Pastor Colin Langer. I can't let you do this.
I understand that the parents of a patient in urgent need of a blood transfusion have been obstructing the doctor attempting to carry this out. I have made an order for the transfusion to proceed. Senior Constable, could you please remove the parents from the hospital?
Thank you, Your Honour.
Cheers, Bill. I'll get the paperwork couriered to you tomorrow. Good night.
Thanks again, Your Honour.
Thanks, Hap.
I've got to say, Ella, it's not too bad.
Well, it took you a while to get in here. I've been waiting.
It's probably not the right time now, is it?
See.
Transfusion means contamination to us. Joshua would be dead to his family, his community. You can't do that to us. We have to. These are good people. These are people who have a right to be heard.
Stop him! If you love your son, hang on to him!
The Human Tissue Act allows us to override your objections and proceed with treatment to save this boy's life. Joshua needs to be home with his community.
I can't let you do that.
This is religious persecution. Back on, back on. Sake, you're killing him. Come on, sir. We won't give up. We can't give up. This is a child's eternal life we're fighting for. Joshua will be dead to his family, his community.
These people are insane.
No, these people have religious beliefs.
Religious beliefs that defy logic and science.
Jamie, you had no right to talk to the Tranters that way.
Ella, you want to be good to everyone, and some people aren't worth it.
Right, that's your belief, Jamie. Okay, but this is my emergency department and you're one of my staff, and I require a certain level of respect from doctors to patients, and you already know all of this.
The Tranters aren't patients. They're not.
These people are suffering.
I couldn't give a toss about them, Ella. They were happy to sit back and watch their kid die.
Oh, that is bullshit, Jamie. She is a mother. She didn't want to lose her son, but she's caught in these beliefs. But in the end, that is irrelevant because your job here is to care for your patients. And to do that, you need to rely on hospital protocol. And this isn't a suggestion, I'm insisting on it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's been a very rough night.
Thank you.
At the edge, at the edge.
Sorry.
Okay? Some bastard totaled your car.
Don't worry about it. That's what insurance is for.
Had a ring Meg.
Meg.
No.
Lynn, you mean Lynn?
Yeah. Tell her to read Parky.
Read?
Feed. I said feed Parky clothiers. Cheers. It's for Fridays.
Any word?
No, not yet. Soon.
The door was open. I just needed some peace and quiet, really.
Okay.
Sorry about before. I was out of line.
It's all right. I thought your father was living in Tasmania.
He came up this morning. He came to tell me that he was getting married.
Oh. Pleased about that?
It's nothing to do with me, is it?
You are allowed to react.
I don't need to. Nothing to do with me. This one, Lynn, apparently, I don't know a lot about her. She's the most recent in a long line of women. Mind you, she's the first he's wanted to marry.
See.
He called me cloth ears. He called me cloth ears because I was having trouble understanding him. He said, tell Lynn to feed Parky cloth ears. Sparky. I think he meant Sparky. Sparky's this dog we had who died when I was 14. Yeah. It's not really profound, is it? Not really the kind of words you want to take with you into the rest of your life.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, I just finished my shift. Joshua came out of surgery about half an hour ago. His BP's up and he's stable. I tried to phone his parents and they weren't answering. You think they'd be wanting to know?
Jamie, earlier you said you had something you wanted to talk to me about.
No, actually, that's okay. That's nothing. I was going to tell you tonight that I wanted to quit emergency.
I see.
There's always complications. People just get so confusing.
Well, I'm not sure how we could rework things so that they're not.
No, I know. If only we could.
Jamie, if you want some time off, I'm not going to stop you, but the irony is every time you tell me you want to quit, you show me how brilliant you are, and so I don't want to lose you.
I took this. He did have it on him, and I took it and said that he didn't. There's something morally reprehensible about that, isn't there?
Give it to me. Well, legally, it wouldn't have changed anything. And your intention was good.
Intentions mean jack shit.
Intention is all we have. Honest intention coupled with honest action. And faith that those two things will see us through.
I am trying to get inside these people's heads. I'm trying to see it from their angle, but faith is like this total blind spot for me. But I know I did the right thing by that kid. I'll get going.
Must be very difficult to practice a faith that might require you to make that sort of choice.
So don't practice it. No one's forcing you to.
But you don't practice anything because of one belief. It's a whole raft of beliefs that you respond to that answer your spiritual needs.
I don't care what they believe in. They just have no right in imposing upon someone else.
I agree. It's just, imagine how they're feeling today, that's all.
Their kid lived. They should be overjoyed. Look, you didn't see them in action. Sympathy is wasted on them.
Bit touchy today, Jamison, are we? I think I should remind you that Layla's capacity for compassion is boundless and somewhat humbling.
Just misdirected.
I would have thought omnidirectional, actually.
Morning, Layla.
Simon, I've got that information for you.
Anything interesting?
The fact that you're a part owner of Clearwater Hospital and that you concealed the fact that there was no anaesthetist on the night of Sharon Williams' delivery will go against you.
It has no bearing on Sharon Williams' delivery. I did what was required. The absence or presence of anaesthetist had nothing to do with it.
You withheld information.
This is childbirth, the difficult delivery with a difficult patient. There wasn't time to sit and chat about hospital staffing issues.
That doesn't matter. It's going to come up and it's going to look bad, and you'll be accused of putting your interests in the hospital ahead of service to your patient.
No part of the procedure that I carried out was wrong. Mrs. Williams has a healthy baby, and the damage to her perineum will heal.
Dr. De Silva, if this goes to court, there will be masses of publicity. Your interest in the hospital, no matter how innocent, will come over as shonky doctor ignores patient's cries for help. Can you just see that headline?
I'm being railroaded.
I'm afraid you're stuck with it.
So, we settle.
As soon as possible. Happy?
Thanks, Layla. Good God.
What is it?
The Path Lab have sent those knickers to MDA to be returned to Dr. Mellon.
You're kidding.
No. Could you get a large postal bag and just pop them in and send them back to him?
Clinic or home, do you think?
Home, actually, yeah. Address them to the rightful owner. Mrs. Mellons.
Do you want to have a small wager about whether Richard will show up or not?
Well, I think we'd better hope that he does and that he's tired and stressed.
Have you ever seen him tired and stressed?
No.
Morning.
Morning.
Failure to provide adequate pain relief.
We concede that.
Thank heavens for small mercies. Inadequate episiotomy.
The episiotomy was adequate.
An adequate episiotomy wouldn't involve an hour and a quarter's repair work, would it? Failure to provide adequate postnatal care.
Mrs. Williams chose not to attend postnatal appointments.
Do you blame her?
Are you asking me because you want an answer? Dr. De Silva has an unblemished record.
We've heard this before.
An unblemished record, Richard. Quite a rarity in O&G, wouldn't you say? Mrs. Williams, you have a healthy daughter delivered vaginally in difficult circumstances. Now, about 100 years ago, you and your daughter would have died in those same circumstances.
No.
In
What the
horrendous
hell
pain. Have
has
you ever
this
thought about
got to
that?
do with this particular case?
And yet, you seem to think that you're entitled to an easy labour. No pain, no damage, no postnatal care.
You're a bitch. I bet you haven't got any kids.
Mrs. Williams, please refrain from abuse, otherwise I'll have to ask you to leave the mediation room.
Let's just stick to the point here and start talking money, please.
Mrs. Williams chose not to attend postnatal appointments. No compensation will be needed on that claim.
Stop pissing me around, Amanda. Give me a figure or we will call it quits now.
30.
You're wasting my time.
Time is marching on, ladies and gents. Is there any hope of a settlement today?
40.
35. My last word. Or we go to court.
Let's get this over with.
$35 it is.
For a moment, I thought you had us looking down the barrel of a court case.
So did I.
But you pulled it off. Well done.
You're not happy.
Well, do you want the official response or the Simon Lloyd response?
You think Sharon Williams was treated unfairly?
Do you?
Yeah, a bit. But not enough for me to back down. And as for Richard being under par, no sign of it. He was just
Watch
the
it,
same.
9 o'clock.
Thanks for that.
Oh, Richard, I didn't have a chance to ask. How's everything with your father?
Good. Stable.
There's one thing about him. Never bores you with the details.
Hi there. You might not remember me. I'm Dr. Lawless. I admitted you last night. Just thought I'd swing by and see how you're doing. You probably feel pretty crook for a few days. Are your parents coming in later?
I think so. Whose blood was it?
Sorry?
Whose blood did I get?
There's not really any way of knowing. It did save your life.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Just wondered if it makes a difference.
In what way?
Like, to who you are.
Well, there's no evidence that it does. Anyway, I'll catch you another time.
Dr. Lawless.
He's going to be fine. I've just been in. Mrs. Tranter, I said some things last night that I shouldn't have.
It's what you believe.
Yes, it is.
I want to get this to Joshua. It's some things he might need.
Yeah, okay, he's in 7 North.
Can you take them, please, or get someone to take them?
He is awake. They'll let you in.
No. I can't.
Joshua Tranter. He's in 7 North.
Yes, sure, Dr. Lawless.